What is going on, guys? Today, Ask Me Anything Wednesday.
Boom!
Boom! Yeah, we do Ask Me Anything every Wednesday at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 6 p.m. Pacific Time. And we've actually got some really, really good questions. So do me a favor, drop a hashtag live if you're coming in live. Drop a hashtag replay if you're coming in on the replay. And today's going to be pretty legit. We've got some very, very good questions. Thanks for everyone who actually came in and asked the questions on the post. So we've been promoting these posts every day. So this is the Ask Me Anything container on foundations. So Fabian, what are we actually? You know what? I'm going to do this. Look, we got Deb and Xander coming in live from way down south. We got the Kiwis. So we're talking about the fundamentals. The container is the fundamentals, and the questions on mindset, avatar/ideal client, offers, messaging. But we have a few questions that are already in. So we've got April, welcome. April, welcome to the call live. We've got Deb and Xander live. We've got Helen. Hey guys, just so you know, tomorrow I'm dropping something super legit. Deb and Xander just launched a course. They did a 30-day onboarding, basically a 30-day challenge. Like imagine that, 30 days of committing to clients, 30 days of driving traffic to people, 30 days of giving value, massive value. Hashtag they did it. It was amazing. But here's what I did. I recorded a podcast that's releasing tomorrow on my Burnflow Marketing Radio channel. Shameless plug, Burnflow Marketing Radio. If you have not subscribed or if you have not subscribed, go subscribe. If you have subscribed and you have not dropped a review, do me a favor and drop a review. That is at Burnt Phone Marketing Radio on your Apple Podcast. So we are dropping that off. We are dropping that tomorrow. And Deb and Xander did some amazing things, and they're going to talk about struggles. They're going to talk about things that they did. Talk about things that they wouldn't do next time. And one thing that Xander talked to me about, with communication, you can get anything. A good communicator, you can get anything. So I'm going to tee this up, and Fabian, I'm going to let you take this away. We are talking about foundations. While you do that, I'm going to set up the banners so everybody will be able to read the questions that we're going over. So Facebook user, if you want us to see who you are inside the chat,
That's David.
Inside the comments, you can click StreamYard. It'll take a second to load it, but then it'll show us who you are. So
that's
boom. All right, Fabian, take it away.
I'm taking it away because, listen, if you create a business and the foundation is on sand, your house is going to fall apart. But if you create your foundation on bedrock, a solid foundation, the rest of your business has the fundamentals that it needs to grow. So when I'm thinking about business in general, and listen up, network marketers, if you're a network marketer out there and you're sick, you're tired of being a product pusher, if you know that there's a better way to build your business online. Now, let's just talk about this. Think about your favorite guru. Think about what they're doing. They're branding themselves. They have positioned themselves successfully as the authority and expert in their niche, right? So if you're an upline, if you're a leader and you're like, man, my distributors, they're not retaining it. The churn is serious. You know, put a 1 in the chat if you know what I'm talking about. Put a 1 in the chat if you've ever recruited somebody. They were really gung-ho. Dude, I'm going to blow up your business. And then next thing you know it, when you're blowing up their phone, they're not picking up. Put a 1 in the chat if you've experienced that. Put a 1 in the chat if you ever recruited somebody in your life. And then they got all this momentum and they started hitting like all the company milestones, right? And then all of a sudden, the reality sunk in. Right? They ran out of people to talk to. So they started trying to like talk to strangers, right? doing all kinds of weird stuff, like the manual way, right? The going and talking to anyone that's 3 feet next to them, or even using Facebook, right? And putting, before and after pictures on their Facebook profile, and just hoping and praying that anyone will like and comment on it. And if they do, you pounce on them inside a messenger. Put a 1 in the chat if you freaking know what I'm talking about, right? And I'm not saying that's you that's doing that, but have you ever had a team member that's done that and they're looking up to you and you're like, dude, can you tell me another way to build my business? Well, stick around for this Ask Me Anything, because if you build the foundation to your business properly, and I'm not talking about your network marketing business, they have a great foundation. Your network marketing company has figured it out, okay? But you as the salesperson for your network marketing company, you as the rep, or you, whatever, maybe you're in affiliate marketing, maybe you're in direct sales, it's all the same stuff. If you don't control the cart, meaning this, if you are promoting a product or a service and you can't make the price more expensive or less expensive, then this whole conversation is for you. So what is in the foundations container? Well, let me tell you. Number 1 is your mindset. If you don't have your mind right, then you're not going to be successful in business, period. The end of story. Go get a mindset coach. Go get a life coach. Okay? Go listen to a podcast. Go read a book. Do what you got to do. Be consistent, right? Your why can't be your why not. That's one area in foundations. Another area in foundations is creating an offer. Now, what do I mean by creating an offer? Simply said, if I were selling this tube of chapstick, right, and millions of other people were selling this tube of chapstick, what makes you buying this tube of chapstick from me more valuable than buying it from the next 100 million people? Right? Well, it's the offer that I create around this. I'm not just going to sell this. I'm going to turn this into an offer. So in our coaching program, we teach people how to create sexy, delicious offers around the thing that they're promoting, right? That's another foundation. Your messaging, your marketing messaging. Really, the foundation of your messaging comes from knowing who your ideal business partner, your ideal customer, your ideal avatar, knowing who that person is. And that's some esoteric, I want to talk to moms who are, at home raising kids that want to find extra money. No, that's so general. I'm talking about really laser light specific. Like, does your avatar have a name? What's your avatar's fears? What are their goals? What are their problems and struggles? What are they trying to achieve? Like, really nailing in the perfect picture of that avatar. Because when you have that perfect picture, then you start to ask yourself questions. Well, what are they thinking? And you can create marketing message towards their thinking. So that's what this foundation thing is all about. That's just a few bullet points, Eric. But welcome, Helen. Welcome, April. Welcome, Patricia, Kathy, Helen, twice, Debbie, David's lurking in the profile. I'm surprised he hasn't cracked any jokes on us yet. Okay, but that's coming up soon. So we have a question, and here's the first question. How do I find the business builder that is looking and willing to invest in themselves? This is from Miss Helen Hancock, all the way from New Zealand. Eric, do you want to take a stab at this one? You want me to go first?
Go ahead first. Yeah.
I'm gonna knock this one out, Helen. Now look, how to find a business builder that is looking and willing to invest in themselves? That's a great question, right? How to find a business builder? Check mark, simple, easy, ... that is willing to invest in themselves. If you are watching this for the very first time, and if you haven't heard me say this, here is the best person to do business with. You ready? This is the part of the training where you may want to take notes. And if you've heard this from me before, get one little golden nugget, which I'm about to say. Number 1, finding people who are willing to invest in themselves. They have to be 3 things, right? Number 1, they have to be problem aware. Fabian, what do you mean? Echo?
Yeah, for a second, but I think we're good now.
I think we're good now?
We're good now.
I still hear myself, but it's okay. Oh, no, we are good now. Okay. Helen and everyone else that's listening, 3 things only. Take your note. Number 1, that person, in order to be willing to invest in themselves, number 1, they have to be problem aware. They need to know that they have a problem, right? You ever have a friend or a pal, or maybe you saw it in a movie or something like that, where they had a problem, but they were ignorant to it. They couldn't admit that they had a problem, or they didn't see the problem because it was a blind spot. You know what I'm talking about, right? We've all had that friend that has a problem, but they're ignorant to it, right? Well, the same thing in business. You can't expect someone to invest in themselves if they're not problem aware. So that's step number one. Step number two, if you're taking notes, is they have to be solution aware. Well, what I mean by that is they have to, one, acknowledge that they have a problem, and two, they have to be aware that there are solutions that exist for their problem. Right? They can't just have a problem and be like, oh man, why is it me? I wish I can find. No, they have to understand that there's solutions that exist in the market. And number three, if you're taking notes, they have to be product aware, meaning they know their solutions and they know specific products to help solve those problems. And hopefully they've tried those other products before. So they have a sense of how good, how bad, how ugly, how awesome, how not awesome those products are. What, even if it's an awesome product, now you have the ideal person that's willing to invest in themselves. Why? Because they already have. That is my answer, Eric. I'm not going to wax too much poetic on that.
I don't think I need to talk any more about that. Problem aware, solution aware, product aware. It's having the right buyer. I always tell people that if you're giving your presentation, are you giving your presentations in McDonald's or Ruth Chris?
Ooh.
And that has to do with giving your presentations to people that are problem aware, solution aware, and product aware. They know that there's a problem. They know that there's stuff out there that'll fix it. And they know that you can help them. So that's it. I mean, you nailed that one. Crushed that one out of the park. Do we want to talk about procrastination or do we want to talk about ideal client?
Hit me. It doesn't matter. Throw like a fastball. Go. How do I find my ideal client? Where are you, client? You want to go on this one? You want me to go?
You can go on this one.
How do I find them? Well, you do the hokey pokey. You turn yourself around. You clap 3 times, and then you pray to the ideal client gods. Eric, what do you got to say about that? No, I'm kidding. How do I find my ideal client, man? That's a great question. And, you know, what comes to mind when someone asks that question is you have to, number one, know what that ideal client looks like first, right? So you can't find something that you don't know a perfect picture if you don't have clarity on what you're looking for. So if you know what I mean? Like you have to have a great image of what that ideal client is. What are their characteristics, right? Do they have a good work ethic? You know, are they hungry? Are they determined, right? And then know the characteristics that you're not looking for. Are they lazy? Or do they need help being motivated? Or are they self-motivated, right? It's about, number one, your ideal client, knowing the characteristics that you're looking for, like the human characteristics, and then 2, knowing what skills and what prerequisites that person should or shouldn't have coming to you, right? Some people like a clean slate with no experience, right? So they can mold them into the perfect ideal person. Some people don't have time for that. Homie, don't play that. Some people need someone that's been around the block a couple of times, right? So how do I find them? Number one is getting clarity of who that person looks like. Once you have clarity on who that looks like, finding them is simple, right? Like any community on planet Earth is a great place to start, whether you're old school going to networking events, whether you're modern and using LinkedIn or Facebook and different communities and different groups, different blogs, different, congregations of people, right? Birds of the same feather flock together, right? So if I know my ideal client, I know exactly where they're hanging out. They're hanging out in communities where they paid money to have access to. That's where they're hanging out. They're hanging out in a place, and for some reason, they're just not getting satisfied by the thing that they bought. It happens all the time. Or maybe they are satisfied with the thing that they bought, but they're looking for more. Because here's what I know about a leader. Their potential is never fulfilled. They are always seeking to become better, right? So ideal client, man, the short 1, 2, 3 is you got to get clarity on who that person looks like. And then 2, finding them is easy because you can ask questions that you know the specific answers to, and then those people will raise their hand and say, "Yep, that's me. I'm that kind of person." Eric, what do you got?
I'm just gonna say that's exactly what I'm talking. That is exactly what I was gonna say. I would be able to explain their pain and their problems better than they can. If you can articulate their problem better than they can, or you can articulate their problem and offer a solution, you're going to have people raising their hands. So it's not only finding and defining who you really want to work with, it's being able to pick them up on the entrance that they're on, come to them where they're at, and lead them to where they want to go. So it's not only about it's a lot to do with messaging. So when you're struggling, when you're struggling and you seem like, you know what, I can't find my ideal client because this is happening and this is happening, do me a favor, go and explain their problems in a story better than they can. And I learned something just recently. So all of my marketing is going to have two phrases at the end of it. You're right, or that's me. Because if you can get them to say you're right or that's me, your marketing message is beyond on point.
That's so good.
And that's all I got to say about finding the ideal client. Because if you can have them say you're right and that's me, you're fishing in the right ponds for the right people. We'll take a little shift on foundations and how to stay on track and stop procrastination.
I would say this is good in the foundations category.
Definitely good in the foundations category, but it's not like Avatar. We're taking a shift from Avatar and investing in themselves. This is more like the fingers are pointing at you. Yep. How do I stay on track and how do I stop procrastination? Well, number one is you live by your calendar. You live by your calendar. You got to own your calendar, but you also got to live by your calendar, but you also have to honor your calendar. And when you honor your calendar, that means when you put it on there, you get it done. And we have a method that we teach in our course with our high paid students, our high ticket students, called the 2-3-2 method. And if you've never heard of the 2-3-2 method, the crazy thing about that is I just watched one of the most well-known guys talking about Mr. Warren Buffett. And you know what Mr. Warren Buffett does in the mornings? This guy's a bazillionaire, right? Smartest money guy out there. He writes down the three things. He writes down a list of things that he needs to do in the morning. He circles 3, writes them on another piece of paper, and throws that paper away. Throws the other paper away. He goes, because my mind can get 3 things done. And that's what's cool about the 2-3-2 method. Literally gets you to knock out 3 big rocks. So, if you've never heard of the 2-3-2 method, #232, we'll send you a quick training that you can go to and learn a little bit more about the 2-3-2 method. But that's how I'd stop procrastination. The only way to stop procrastination is say that you're going to not procrastinate. Like procrastination is it's almost like a crutch for most people. Oh, I'm just a procrastinator. No, you're not. You're just not doing stuff. I wanted to use a different word there. But, we'll keep it PG. Stay on track. Honor your calendar. So
only thing I have to add to that, if you don't want to be a procrastinator, you have to be a precrastinator. What, Fabian? What the hell's a precrastinator? Well, Eric just said it he didn't say it the way I said it, but he just nailed it, right? A procrastinator is someone who's waiting and waiting and waiting. A precrastinator is someone who just takes imperfect action, right? Eric also said, live by the calendar. Oh my gosh. If it's on the calendar, it will not get done, including loving my wife and my children. I know that sounds weird and harsh, but I don't know too many people who, who's opening up a brewery or who runs a nonprofit or who runs a 20-year record label or who runs an online coaching business, who, leads a network marketing team, who has 10 kids. I just described myself. So what I'm telling you is, if I don't put it in the calendar, like if this call tonight at 9 o'clock wasn't in the calendar, I would forget it. But Fabian, you do it every single Wednesday. Yeah, but it's still on my calendar with a little alarm that goes off at 8:30, so I know that I got to get what I'm doing, stop it, and go be here. So if you don't want to be a procrastinator, be a precrastinator and get your calendar in order. In fact, you can head over to Unit 3 in this Facebook community and group. And in there, I give a series, I want to say it's 4 or 5 videos. I think it's 5 videos. One's an intro video and there's 4 trainings. But go in there and it really talks about how to redesign your life. Like if you're in a rut and you want to start, let's say you want to start April again, like fresh, like getting your foundations right, go head over to Unit 3 or Guide 3, whatever they call it now, in this Facebook group and start your month right. Go over those trainings. It has documents for you guys. It's another beautiful gift that we pulled out of our coaching program that we've given away completely for free just because you're awesome. So that brings.
We got one more question.
Oh, really?
We're our timing is on point. That's what I like. We got one more question, and this one's all about. This is you. You 100%.
Me? Oh. How to convert leads into paying clients or team members. I get what you're saying. It's me. Yeah, this is not a foundations question, but I love to talk about this for just a second or two. Converting leads into paying clients or team members. Okay. In business, there's this thing called a value chain, or sometimes it's called a value ladder, or there's all different kinds of names, right? But essentially, imagine this. Imagine, point A to point B, okay, right? Where you want people. Oh, sorry. I'm opposite hands here. Where you want people to start and where you want people to finish, right? And all the stuff in between are steps to get them to buying something, right? So on point A, it's free. Point B is paid, right? Some people think it's this close to each other. Point A to point B. That's not the case. It's really like this close together, right? So there's steps to getting to point B. Right? There's processes to getting point B. So how do you get someone to be a paying client or a team member? You have to go through your value chain. You have to go through your steps. But Fabian, I don't know what the hell you're talking about. What's a value chain? And what steps do I have to take to get someone to just buy my stuff already? I just want them to buy, right? And I know you're not going to like what I'm going to say. You got to give value. Well, Fabian, what the hell does that mean, give value? Oh, my Lord. I'm going to make this so simple. When anyone ever says to you, when all the gurus are saying to you, lead with value, I'm going to redefine value here today. Ready? Find, like, if you know that person is like, oh, they'll be awesome on my team. They'll be awesome as a client. If you, in your heart, know that person will be awesome for whatever reasons, your job is to find out 2 things. What are they struggling with and what are their goals? Period. Now, from point A to point B, your job is to solve one problem, another problem, help them reach a goal, reach another goal, another problem, another goal, boom, paid client, sign, seal, deliver. So your value in getting someone to transition from not knowing who you are to actually loving you and being like, yes, here's my credit card, take it. That is your ability to solve their problems and to help them reach their goals. And sometimes that's for free. And then sometimes that's for just a little bit of money. And then sometimes that's for a lot of bit of money. Is that a good enough overview, Eric?
It's a great overview. Okay, and how
so,
to convert leads into paying clients or team members. I'm just going to have you ask, and I've gone back to this a couple of times. You need to explain their problems better than they can.
Mm-hmm.
If you can explain their problems better than they can, they're going to be converting leads and paying clients or team members. But I'm going to give this to you too. If you can give them a vivid picture of what life's like when they achieve the pleasure, your promise, whatever your solution is offering, if it's offering to build a team, to have 0 to a certain amount of people, to have to that in network marketing, to lose 10 pounds or to do whatever you're doing, converting leads. You can give them a vivid picture of what life's like when they achieve the pleasure, your promise, your conversion rate's going to skyrocket. Can you articulate to them? Can you articulate to me a vivid picture of what is going to happen when they join your team, when they become your client, when they become your team member, when they convert, when they ring the register, when they do that? Can you give me a vivid picture?
Yes.
And from the immortal word of Kevin Hart, can you say it with your chest? Right? Can you say it with belief? Can you say it with conviction? Can you say it and tell them and know that's really what's going to happen? If you can, I'm sure you're converting leads. If you can't, I'm going to give that question to you one more time. Give them a vivid picture of what life's like when they achieve the pleasure, in parentheses, promise, or your promise. I think we all delivered today. I think we crushed today. Today was a great AMA. Hashtag value if you got any value from us today. I mean, thanks for showing up. It was amazing. You guys have any questions? We might have time for one. It's 26. If you got a quick question, you can put one in there. If you don't, we're going to leave it open for 15 seconds. So that we'll give you guys an option to do a question real quick. But guys, please, if you guys have questions that are struggling with, do me a favor and put them inside when we post these, put them inside that chat, and we will put the questions up for you. So it's Ask Me Anything. It's Ask Me Anything live, and we actually air every single Wednesday at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Let me check this question real quick. Hashtag. Okay, cool. Thank you, Helen. Thank you, Kathy. Thank you, Facebook user. Appreciate you guys. Next week, Fabian. I don't have my sheet up, but I think next week,
marketing and sales.
New organic marketing system, marketing and sales. So we're going to talk about questions regarding the profile sales, the Facebook profile sales funnel, audience building, leveraging your network / Dream 100. That might be something that we'll talk about. Types of post, lead gen, and lead nurturing. So if that's the bucket, if that's your leaky bucket, if that's your leaky container, like we talk about, lead gen, lead gen, organic marketing system, I would show up here. I would mark it in your calendar next week, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, Wednesday. And we will bring the thunder, we will bring the heat, and maybe David's here. So any last words, Fabian?
Thanks, Eric, for hosting this as you do consistently every Wednesday for God knows how long. I appreciate your commitment to putting this in your calendar and making it work like clockwork. Even when you're on vacation, you somehow ninja a way to make things happen. I want to thank all of our watchers live and the people who are watching this on the replay. Thanks for participating in the chat. I want to thank all the people who were able to, I am not a psychic. I want to thank all the people who were also able to advance the questions to, get us started here on this Ask Me Anything. And really, our goal, Eric, and for the people who are watching, is to make this Facebook community like literally the #1 destination for solopreneurs, for entrepreneurs, for network marketers, for affiliate marketers. We want to make this the #1 stop destination to answer your marketing, your sales, your foundations, and how to build your business community. Spam free, where we're not like throwing, a bunch of things at you, right? Obviously, we have offers, right? Obviously, we have things that you can purchase, but this Facebook group is not about purchasing, it's about making impact, right? Proving to you that we are walking the walk with a bunch of free content. Because you know what happens? It's so funny. Like people like check out the free content, they get value, and they get results, and then they eventually reach out and message and say, hey, all this is great. What else you got, right? So you're here now, right? Because we got something else to give you. So when you're ready, let us know you're ready. All right. On behalf of David and Eric and me, we will see you guys when we are looking at you.
Talk to you guys later.
End stream.